You couldn't...
Over the line!
Huh? Why are your feet so big, Isaiah? Why were you born with such large, masculine feet?
That's a toe.
Why, Isaiah? Why? How close were the Ravens to winning week 1? This close. And with that, I can confirm the curse wheel is 100% back. I'm sorry, Ravens fans, but you got the double curse, and you lost in horrific, heartbreaking fashion. That was Isaiah Likely's toe touching just a half inch out of bounds with 3 seconds left in the game, preventing the Ravens from possibly tying or winning. And today, Isaiah Likely asked his team doctors how easy it is to play football with a half of a big toe. And knowing the Chiefs were the thickness of a slice of cheese on a danger witch away from losing their home opener makes this the worst cursed ending ever. The Chiefs looked the same, all right, very good, with luck and the refs on their side. They left a handful of plays on the field because of drops. Xavier Worthy torched the Ravens secondary immediately, and I have some serious questions about Lamar Jackson. I'm not just saying this to be controversial either, because I genuinely love Lamar, but I started to see some shades of Russell Wilson on him. And not the good shades. Also, the NFL's emphasis on illegal formations might be the dumbest thing they've ever done to start the season. And the Ravens, they simply have no clue how to use Derrick Henry. Today, what the fudge? If you've been this close to succeeding at something in life but failed, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also, the only way to prevent the refs from ruining your day is buying the Fuck the Refs coffee over at benchwarmershop.com. We just revamped the website. We got all the coffee there. We got new shirts. We got the curse wheel shirts. All of them there. benchwarmershop.com. We've got some of the older 8-bit shirts going on sale today, so go check it out. And there's only one way to stop the zebra terrorists from ruining football, and that's by buying my drugs. Coffee. Coffee's a drug. I'm a drug salesman. Now, if these scary puppet boxers didn't tip you off, then the curse wheel in my weekly power rankings should have had you well prepared to lose this game, Baltimore. The curse wheel selected the Ravens not once, but twice earlier in the week, dooming them to lose. Oh, it's 6 again! It really was the Ravens! But before the horror ended this game, the Ravens had a great opening drive. Despite 3 illegal formations that the NFL decided needed to be emphasized.
Illegal formation by the offense.
On the opening drive, Lamar and the offense kept finding ways to move the chains. And Derrick Henry found himself in the end zone, capping the start to the season with a touchdown. Surely the Ravens would stick to that formula, right? Right? How did the Chiefs respond? Well, they had a nice drive of their own and a touchdown to the fastest fucking player on earth, a reverse or some shit to Xavier Worthy, who torched the Ravens defense. The Ravens defense just looked bad for most of the game. Roquan Smith felt like he didn't play well. And Worthy was running so fast that I thought he was riding shotgun with Rashee Rice. Now, just when the Chiefs lose one Xavier to prison, they gain another. Remarkable, really. They can replace anything, can't they? Now, a big theme that emerged during the game was the horrible officiating, or annoying officiating. I mentioned the Ravens getting dinged for 3 illegal formations on the opening drive, but it didn't stop there. There were 4 or 5 called against them total in this game last season. The Ravens were flagged for illegal formation once all season. And we're talking about a 6-inch area where a lineman's head is lined up. The effect that this has on the conclusion of the game, if left unchecked, is basically 0, and the NFL checked the hell out of it. Ronnie Stanley said after the game that the officials were trying to make an example out of him, but weren't calling the same for the Chiefs. I guess you could call it a point of emphasis, but the only thing that shit really emphasizes is making football annoying to watch the first week of the season. Also, why'd you keep doing it, Ronnie? Why'd you keep doing it, Ronnie? The refs actually allowed the Chiefs' defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, to wrongfully call a timeout.
He can't do that. It has to be the head coach that comes down. The assistant coach, nobody else can call timeout on the sideline except the head coach.
Which, if we're going to be sticklers for the rules, let's make sure we're sticklering everything. Also, I had no idea a coordinator was not allowed to call a timeout. And personally, I don't care if they do. If you were watching the game at home, you could pretty much tell whether the Chiefs were going to throw or run based on how Jawan Taylor was lined up and how early he false started. Apparently, that was not apparent to the Ravens. Or maybe it was, and they just couldn't stop Kansas City anyway. Now, people with eyeballs can tell you that this game was not officiated evenly, at least as it relates to the way the offensive tackles were lined up. I'm not mad Kansas City won, by the way. I expected them to win. I'm angry the NFL made what should have been an all-time opener far more annoying than entertaining. They ruined their own product last night. I'll get to the Lamar Jackson missed throws in the conclusion today, but Lamar had a very costly fumble in the first half that gift-wrapped points for the Chiefs. Xavier Worthy found the end zone twice in this game, but the impact players were Rashee Rice for the Chiefs and Isaiah Likely for the Ravens. 7 and 9 receptions respectively, and both going over the century mark. Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews, basically non-existent. 5 total catches between the two tight ends and less than 50 yards receiving combined. Wide receiver Nelson Aguilar, who is known for dropping passes, should be a Chief. Well, now he's going to be known for blowing what could have been the greatest use of hide and seek we've ever seen. Look how cute it is here with Zay Flowers hiding behind his lineman, or as Kyler Murray calls it, how I feel every snap of every football game. This was 4th down, and all Nelson has to do here is block the fucking receiver, and the Ravens convert. Now I give Nelson
he who haws last, haws best.
the Nelson. Justin Tucker missed his first field goal attempt. He's cursed. What did the Chiefs do poorly in this game? Well, Patrick Mahomes did throw a bad interception at the end of the first half. Let's just look at this thing from as many angles as possible in silence to appreciate it. Now, this game came down to Isaiah Likely's toe, but also Kansas City didn't play their best football, which should actually worry Isaiah Likely, not encourage him like he hinted at after the game.
This is probably the worst game we're going to play all year. So if this is their best that they got, I mean, good luck in the postseason.
KC's self-inflicted wounds, well, Travis Kelce had a big drop, Isaiah Pacheco had a big drop, and then the old new Juju Smith-Schuster had a big drop. Any of those plays hit, and I don't think the Ravens even have a chance at the end of this game. Kadarius Toney dropped so that the Chiefs could keep dropping. Coming out of halftime, Patrick Mahomes had his best drive of the game, in my opinion. He hit Rashee Rice out of the gate, and then he jukes the ever-living hell out of Broderick Washington. This shit is so annoying right here. And Mahomes does it every single game. Then, this disgusting bastard, this man that I hate, forces me to respect the hell out of his game as on the goal line, Mahomes runs to the scrum to help push Pacheco into the end zone. And some fans were saying that that play should have been blown dead, that forward progress had been stopped. Personally, I like letting it play out, but I'm also a masochist. It's why I masticate so much. I have no idea why the Ravens signed Derrick Henry. Why'd you do it, guys? You have no idea how to use the king. You don't understand how he works. He had 13 carries total. 5 came on the first drive in the first quarter when he scored a touchdown. When he scored a touchdown, everyone on earth knows that Derrick Henry gets better the more he gets the ball. You can give any fucking back in the league 13 carries and feel fine with their production. To do that to the king is an insult to all monarchies. In Chiefs' kingdom, nonetheless. Also, the Chiefs knew when you put in Justice Hill, you were not going to hand it off to Justice Hill. I love that you used him in the passing game, but you gave him 1 carry. Derrick Henry, 0 receptions to Hill 6. Henry, he can catch. Now, he's not a dual threat, but 28 receptions last season, 33 the year before. You got to convince the defense you will use both backs both ways. Otherwise, it's like you're playing poker, but you're the asshole at the table with your cards being held the wrong fucking way. And I wanted to tie my thoughts on Lamar Jackson into the Ravens' final drive. The story of that final drive for me was Lamar Jackson. He did all of the things you want your quarterback to do in that situation. Do whatever it takes to move the chains, right? Lamar took what the defense gave him, played smart. He had an incredible run. After a couple safe dump-offs, kept the drive going. Then Lamar threw a terrible deep ball. His receiver has no chance to make a play here. And I saw Lamar do that a few other times throughout the course of this game. It's like he doesn't even have a deep ball. And the issue is he's missing those throws when he has time to make them. He missed those throws in the AFC Championship game, and I'm starting to see this as a concern. It's an odd thing to complain about when he also put up 122 rushing yards, 273 passing yards, but he should have had well over 300 passing yards, probably 3 TDs in this game, in addition to the $122 on the ground, and we should be talking about how he's going to be MVP again. Instead, I'm wondering if this was just a slow start, if he was rusty, if he's going to fix this stuff next week. But since it happened in the playoffs, I have concern. But with Henry, I don't think you want Lamar getting a $122 on the ground on 16 carries. You want Derrick Henry to have 20 touches at least, and Lamar Jackson to be ripping 50 to 60 yards on like 8 runs. Even after Lamar finally connected deep on the Ravens' final drive, very clutch throw, the Ravens cost themselves precious time by not clocking the ball, and then after getting the snap off, Lamar takes an eternity to throw the ball, and when he did throw it, he gave Isaiah Likely no chance to come down with it. Likely is 6'4", and Lamar has no touch on this pass to the back corner of the end zone. It is difficult to overthrow a 6'4" man, and I think 90% of the NFL quarterbacks in the league put this ball in the right spot. But wait, it gets worse. One play later, after buying some time due to the fact that Justice Hill was one-on-one with Chris Jones for some reason, Jackson then misses a very open Zay Flowers in the back of the end zone. Last year's MVP started the season by missing 2 layups to tie or win. Mahomes hits that throw. Josh Allen hits that throw. Aaron Rodgers hits that throw. You know who misses that throw in a similar situation? Russell Wilson. That's why I'm scared, Ravens fans. Now, there was a brief moment that will be forever suspended in time, where we all thought Isaiah Likely caught the game-winning touchdown. Lamar's sins washed away. He was baptized for a moment, and then, like Kevin Durant before him, Likely was betrayed by his big foot. And the best advice came from Patrick Mahomes, actually.
He's got to wear white cleats next time. That's my advice for him.
White cleats? I'll take it a step further. White cleats with green turf on the toe. You'll always look like you're inbounds.
Over the line!
Huh? Oh, and by the way, shout out to the new dynamic kickoff rule, which resulted in 9 touchbacks. And that's a very cursed ending, if you ask me. Please subscribe here on YouTube. Don't forget to check out benchwarmershop.com. Especially if you want to put an end to the bad officiating.